On Daf 42 of Yoma, there's a statement that the death of a great rabbi can atone very similarly to the way that the scapegoat atones. Now, as soon as I read this, my mind immediately went to a story that we had here locally. There's a rabbi who used to live just around the corner, somebody I never actually got the chance to meet, even though I was in the neighborhood at the same time that he was alive his final couple of years. And when he died, apparently, just a couple hours later, a couple of Hasidim from Mea Shearim came running. Now, this was a Sephardi rabbi in a small little Kabbalistic yeshiva in Nachlot, and these Hasidim were definitely out of place there. And people said, well, what's going on? And they said, well, we're looking for the rabbi. And they said, oh, we're sorry to tell you he just died, but what are you doing here? And they replied, well, our Rabbi was asleep and he had this dream that Israel was about to face some very difficult circumstance, maybe a terrorist act, I don't know exactly what it was, and that this one Sephardi rabbi who lived around the corner from us basically said, take me instead and spare them. And when the Rebbe in Mea Shearim woke up, he wanted to know if this dream was true or not. So he had his Hasidim come run to Nachlot, and they got there to find out that he had died, and it seemed like, yes, that the Rebbe was actually experiencing something that was actually going on. So this is kind of that idea that there's, that like the death, it's such a blow that it can be, in a sense, a certain amount of atonement. Like when we have a certain amount of suffering, we have a certain amount of loss, that can be an aspect of atonement. That can be here too. I couldn't also help but thinking it cuts dangerously close to that Christian idea of dying for our sins, which I've never been so comfortable for, but I have to see it here in this context and wondering, well, did they get that from us? Is this where it comes from? Is this idea that we hold together? And it's certainly not holding up the rabbi in any way is God, but is that whole dying for our sins, is that something that we have in our history too? I'm going to leave that one as a question.